Check one, check, check.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is embarking on a significant diplomatic mission. His primary objective is to advance crucial tariff negotiations with the United States. He is aiming for a substantial breakthrough or a finalized agreement. The timeline for this ambitious goal is set for the upcoming Group of Seven summit. This important international gathering is scheduled to take place in Canada in June 2025, just next month. The eyes of the international community will be watching these developments closely. The pressure is undoubtedly on for Prime Minister Ishiba. The G7 summit serves as a critical deadline for these complex trade discussions. Prime Minister Ishiba understands the importance of this forum. A successful deal would not only benefit Japan's economy, but also reinforce its strategic partnership with the United States. The negotiations have been ongoing, with teams from both nations working diligently. However, reaching a consensus on sensitive trade issues is never a simple task. The stakes are incredibly high for Prime Minister Ishiba and his administration. A recent and pivotal development in these ongoing trade discussions was a direct phone call. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba and U.S. President Donald Trump engaged in a significant conversation. The call, lasting approximately 45 minutes, was described by both sides as productive. This diplomatic exchange focused heavily on the upcoming tariff negotiations. Both leaders reportedly agreed on the importance of these talks. They also expressed a mutual desire to continue their dialogue in person. This face-to-face meeting is anticipated to occur at the G7 summit in Canada. Prime Minister Ishiba and President Trump delved into key aspects of the trade relationship. They discussed the existing tariffs that have impacted Japanese imports into the U.S. market. Furthermore, the conversation touched upon potential Japanese investment in the United States. The leaders also covered broader topics, including economic security. This high-level communication signals a renewed impetus in the negotiation process. The direct involvement of both Prime Minister Ishiba and President Trump suggests a heightened commitment to finding a resolution. At the heart of these intensive negotiations lies Japan's primary objective. Prime Minister Ishiba's government is steadfastly focused on persuading the United States to eliminate all recent tariffs imposed on Japanese imports. This is a significant request, given the current trade climate and the U.S. administration's previous stance on trade imbalances. These tariffs have affected a range of Japanese goods, creating economic pressure on exporters and impacting bilateral trade flows. The Japanese negotiating team, led by Economic Revitalization Minister Ryosei Akazawa, has been working tirelessly in Washington to make their case. The specific tariffs in question are a major point of contention. The United States currently imposes a substantial 25% tariff on automobile imports from Japan. This particular tariff is a significant concern for Japan's automotive industry, a cornerstone of its economy. Beyond autos, higher tariffs on Japanese steel and aluminum also remain in place. Japan argues that these tariffs are detrimental not only to its own economy, but also to American consumers and businesses. The Japanese side has consistently highlighted its contributions to the U.S. economy through investment and job creation. The upcoming G7 summit is therefore seen as a critical juncture where political will from the highest levels might be needed to break any impasse and achieve Japan's long-sought goal of tariff relief. Beyond tariffs, Ishiba's investment and job creation gambit. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is not solely focused on tariff elimination. He proposes increased Japanese investment in the U.S. economy. This aims to create more American jobs. It addresses U.S. concerns about domestic job growth. This proactive offer shows Japan's commitment to being a strong economic partner. By promising investments and job creation, Japan hopes to foster goodwill and a more cooperative spirit in negotiations. If successful, this approach could resolve trade friction and build a deeper economic relationship. New currents, policy shifts, and strategic overtures. A recent and noteworthy development has subtly altered the landscape of these critical U.S.-Japan trade negotiations. President Donald Trump made an unexpected decision that has been widely interpreted as a significant shift in U.S. trade policy towards Japan. He permitted a partnership to move forward between major U.S. and Japanese steelmakers. This move was seen by many observers as a softening of the previously more hardline American stance. It suggests a greater openness to collaboration in key industrial sectors, which could positively influence the broader tariff discussions. Beyond this specific policy shift, Prime Minister Ishiba has also been proactive in highlighting areas of potential strategic cooperation. He has emphasized Japan's readiness to collaborate more closely in the shipbuilding industry. This is particularly relevant given recent U.S. interest in the possibility of repairing American warships in Japanese shipyards. Such cooperation would have significant strategic implications, enhancing military readiness and interoperability between the two allies. This offer cleverly links economic cooperation with shared security interests, a powerful argument in discussions with Washington. The negotiation grind towards a comprehensive deal. The path to a potential U.S.-Japan trade agreement is being meticulously paved through ongoing discussions. Japan's chief tariff negotiator, Economic Revitalization Minister Ryosei Akazawa, recently concluded a third round of intensive talks in Washington with U.S. officials. Following these meetings, Prime Minister Ishiba reported that tangible progress was being made in these complex negotiations. While specific details of this progress remain confidential, the positive assessment from the Prime Minister suggests that both sides are actively working towards finding common ground. These rounds of talks are critical for ironing out the technical aspects of any potential deal, addressing concerns from various stakeholders. The discussions have reportedly encompassed a wide array of topics. These include not only the contentious issue of tariffs, but also broader themes such as trade expansion initiatives. Both countries are exploring ways to increase bilateral trade volumes in a mutually beneficial manner. Non-tariff measures, which can often be as significant as tariffs in hindering trade, are also on the agenda. Furthermore, the talks have addressed the increasingly important area of economic security, reflecting shared concerns about supply chain resilience and strategic industries. The G7 showdown implications for a trans-Pacific partnership. The upcoming G7 summit in Canada is a pivotal moment for U.S.-Japan relations. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba hopes to finalize intense tariff negotiations with the United States. Both Ishiba and President Trump aim to continue their dialogue at this high-profile forum. The G7 offers a powerful stage for announcing a significant breakthrough. Resolving these talks is crucial for U.S.-Japan economic ties. These nations are major economic powerhouses and key security allies. A successful agreement would strengthen their bilateral relationship. Failure to reach a deal could strain relations and introduce uncertainty. The outcome impacts their strategic alliance in the Indo-Pacific region. The stakes are undeniably high for this impending G7 showdown.